Hi everyone, in this episode, let's discuss about how to tackle perfectionism. Do you sometimes struggle with perfectionism like I do? Then this video is for you. Perfectionism is a broad personality trait that has to do with the obsession of flawlessness and having specific or rigid rules and standards in getting things done and achieving goals by means of delivering perceived work quality and performance. It is closely associated with several psychological disorders such as depression, anxiety, OCD or obsessive compulsive disorder, and eating disorders. The perfectionistic behavior is often an unconscious behavior that masks the fear of failure and the lack of self-esteem and self-confidence. And while the perfectionism is able to lead the individual to attaining higher work quality, but it can also backfire when it is not well balanced against the consideration for opportunity cost and overall productivity. And this often results in poor quality, lackluster performance, physical and mental exhaustion, which is burnout, which continues to reinforce the disempowering cycle of self-sabotage, such as I'm not good enough, I can never do this well, I'm such a failure, to name a few. And as perfectionism is bound to affect our behavior, attitudes, and also our relationships with others, it makes it ever more important for us to understand and know how to break out of this unhealthy cycle of doom when it happens. When speaking about perfectionism, let me share something with you. It reminds me of a scenario at work years ago when the project team that I was part of was led by this manager who tended to micromanage us. We were a team of highly qualified and experienced professionals, and having to be supervised on every bit of details of the work that we delivered to the client was very demotivating and frustrating, to say the least. This includes from the way how we schedule client meetings to how we draft and send the email communications to our clients, had to follow a predetermined format and template prepared by this manager, and all we needed to do was to fill in the blanks. And when it comes to email communications, before they went out to our clients, they had to be first cross-checked by this manager to the correctness of punctuations and approved by this manager beforehand. And as you can imagine, all the groundwork and the lead time that had to be factored into our work plan. This approach had somehow evoked the negative sentiment and also brought out the negative impression that the entire team was basically puppeteered towards the self-serving agenda of this manager. Over a span of several months, the team morale had plummeted and conflicts began to spark between several experienced co-workers with this manager. It was a tense and solemn environment to work in, and it not only lacked in spirited fun, but also had stunted the creativity and growth of everyone in the team. Perfectionism of this manager may have helped to attain the goal of work quality and performance. However, it was at the expense of the relationship with the entire team. It was one of the least enjoyable, if not nightmarish, year of my career, but it was eye-opening to have learned the unpleasant side of perfectionism itself. In this case, the attainment of the goal will reinforce the individual's self-assurance that will allow the perpetuity of this personality style, compromising on the quality of the relationships until the intervention cycle kicks in. And now let's dive into several suggestions on how you can tackle perfectionism. Number 1. Examine the rules imposed as standards. Perfectionists have a way to set the bar so high in the levels of details, attention, and energy exerted into getting things done and creating unrealistic expectations, totally unaware of possibly other alternatives that would only cost half the time and still manage to produce the same, if not even better outcomes. And since no one is perfect, and chances of things getting completed with imperfections are high, the rules which consistently form the standards to achieve specific outcomes, they must be examined and questioned to understand when getting things done and settle for something less than perfect can ideally be a decent goal to pursue. Spending more time polishing on the quality may not result in the desired outcome, nor will it deliver any more added value. So the real challenge lies not necessarily in the imposed standards by the perfectionists on themselves and or others, but it is on the preoccupation of not making any mistakes and the excessive self-blame or self-doubts that follow when things do not go the way that they have hoped for. Perfectionists will soon find that the attainment of perfection is delusional at best, and what is perceived as perfect is often and usually quite the contrary in the eyes of others. Number 2, focus on your strengths and do more of what works. Perfectionists like us have a slight difficulty in discerning the priority of tasks because everything seems to be equally important to us. What is disguised or considered as the level of quality we want to achieve is usually just the penchant or the desire to hold on to everything regardless if they even are going to bring any positive impact or added value. So this will create the scattered focus in us, and instead of getting things done on time, nothing is properly delivered, procrastination may take place, and it will simply compromise the overall quality and performance. And now think back a time in your life when things were successful and positive for you. Notice the areas of strength that enable that and how you can best leverage that to produce and create the satisfying outcome that you want at present day. And this will call for your willingness to relentlessly focus on your areas of strengths and let go of other areas that you know will not necessarily contribute any more to the satisfying outcome that you are looking for. And in some cases, they might just be areas that simply be overlooked easily by others. So why spend the time? And when you can redistribute your time and energy to focus only on things that matter and truly can make a difference, your experience will inherently be more rewarding, and it will also fuel your subjective perfectionism for your next endeavors in a much healthier way. So the main idea here is not to lower your standards, but to tweak your strategy, to play by your strengths, and take proven actions to maximize the improved outcome and experience for yourself. Number 3, expect mistakes or failure and learn from them. Understanding that perfection is unattainable and possibly draining, you must get a clear understanding that mistakes or failures are simply an inevitable part of the process. But they can also come lesser as shocks if you can focus and obsess on doing the right things, so things that truly matter, while also anticipating and accepting the likelihood of you making mistakes and failing at something wholeheartedly from the outset. So the acceptance part includes your willingness to accept feedback from others, your ability to listen to the inner criticism and observe how you react to that. This will open up different avenues that allow you to learn from what went wrong enforce a more empowering inner voice, and then help you to correct course the next time round. Last but not least, number 4, seek professional help and support. Perfectionism can be a doorway for you to uncover deeper layers of behavioral patterns that you have accumulated from years of experience with people and your surroundings. These patterns may not immediately and easily be identifiable without proper self-awareness and the adequate guidance and treatment from professionals such as coaches and therapists respectively, who are trained and therefore fit to guide their clients through this conscientious process. As a matter of fact, people who opt for professional help and support usually experience a relatively faster transformation away from the habits and behaviors that no longer serve them. Your proactiveness in recognizing your perfectionistic self and realize that it can do more harm than good for you is in any case already a good place to start. Remember, any change begins with your decision to take that first step. So there you go, the 4 different suggestions to help you tackle perfectionism in your life. And if there is any other way that you personally have found to have been effective for you, please share in the comments below, as we can always learn from each other. And with that, I thank you for watching and staying till the end. I will see you again next time. But in the meantime, do not forget to hit the subscribe button so that you will get notified of the next episodes released every single week. Bye for now!